Mrs. Jordan, would you please get that?
Warren Hall's office, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm Jordan Curry and this is Amy Sweeney and we're here to talk to Joseph Hall. We're from the Organization of Human Natural Rights.
Okay, come in.
Hi, my name's Amy Sweeney and this is Jordan Curdy and we're with the National Organization for Human Rights and we'd like to discuss some things about the death penalty with you.
Girls, I don't have time for this right now.
We'd really like to present some information to you and we'd really appreciate at least a little bit of your time.
Well, okay, just a minute.
Right. Concerning cost, did you know that there's about 3 times more money spent on executions, giving people the death penalty, than it is to keep them in a high security prison for 40 years?
I did not.
If you turn to page 4 in the packet, there's lots of information about the cost of the death penalty and how expensive it is to taxpayers and citizens.
Well, it's worth it.
For example, the California death penalty system costs taxpayers $114 million per year beyond the costs of keeping convicts locked up for life. So it's far more expensive to give prisoners the death penalty than to keep them locked up for life.
And even in Kansas, the cost of capital cases are 70% more than non-capital cases. So that's a huge difference in cost.
It is worth it to me.
Sir, you're costing the citizens in your city so much more money in their taxes. They're paying so much more to kill these prisoners instead of keeping them locked up for life. As you can see, the facts clearly state that it's not as expensive.
It's worth the extra money so my daughters can sleep at night. It is worth it so my daughters don't come running to me in the middle of the night about nightmares about murderers.
But, excuse me, sir, don't you feel like it'd be just as good to keep them locked up in life for prison without the possibility of parole?
Well, did Daniel Ramsey deserve to go to prison for life? I don't think so. For what he did, he killed 2 girls. 2 girls. One begging for her life. I have daughters. I don't want one of them. I don't want my daughters to end up like them. I just don't. I think he deserves to die for what he did, and that's that.
Well, why couldn't Daniel Ramsey just rot in prison for the rest of his life? If the prisons are smart about it, he'll be there and he won't be able to hurt anybody else.
We provide so much for them criminals. We provide food for them. We provide water. We provide a bed. We provide heat in the winter. We provide air conditioning in the summer. Now, do you really think they deserve all that? No.
Well, why couldn't you just make them work for it all? You don't have to just give it to them. You can make them work for it.
Well, that's just not enough to deter the crime for what they did. They killed people and they deserve to die for it.
Okay, well, studies show anyway that the death penalty does not deter crime. When someone murders someone else, it's normally in the heat of passion. So they're not going to be thinking rationally, thinking, wow, I'm going to be sentenced to death for this. It doesn't really work that way.
Well, why do so many fight to get life instead? Because death is the ultimate punishment.
If you look at the statistics, 88% of experts agree that the death penalty does not deter crime. Just because logic dictates that death is the ultimate punishment and it should be feared, doesn't mean that it actually applies to society.
I will not be swayed by your nasty statistics.
Well, have you ever considered the prejudices when forming a sentence in a biracial murder case?
Well, did you know that 56% of defendants executed were white?
If you look at the statistics for interracial murders, only 15 white men were executed with a black victim in the murder, and 246 black men were executed with white murders. So obviously there is some prejudice.
I will not stand to be accused of being a racist in my own prison. Now I'm going to ask you to leave, girls. Goodbye.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. That's good.
Well, happy 50th birthday, Mr. Hall!
Well, thank you.
How's your day going?
Oh, it's going great.
Did you get any presents?
I did.
Well, that's just great.
do you feel about the death penalty?
Well, the way I see it is a terrible thing to do. But I did take somebody else's life away from me. And I feel that once that deed has been done, I should be put to death also. Because, I mean, let's face it, I did a terrible crime and I was completely someplace else. I was not in my right mind at that time. I think that, yeah, life in prison would be something spectacular, except I took someone's life away, so mine should be taken away too.
How do you feel about innocent people receiving the death penalty?
Well, you see, there's so few of them that actually receive the death penalty that it would be like saying automobiles should be illegal because there's a chance it could kill somebody. That's like, there's a chance that an innocent person could be put on death row, but how often does it really happen? What, has there been like 2 since 1976 or something? I mean, the chances are just slim.
So, have you heard anything about the Clutter murders? Are you aware of that entire ordeal?
Yes, I've read a little.
Do you think Dick deserved to die even though he didn't physically kill anyone?
Well, you see, Dick, I think he planned the whole thing. So, he is just as much to blame as Perry was. So, they should have both been killed, and they were. He planned the whole thing. That doesn't mean he should be released. He's still a dangerous person.
Well, thank you for speaking with us.
This video project was to explain the discrepant views on the death penalty and to absolve any doubt on its legitimacy.
What in the world?
No, that's just... Hi, my name is Amy Sweeney and this is Jordan Purdy and we're with the National Orchestra.
What is your problem?
Here, you have to do
Like that way, just like, no.
I have daughters. I don't want that daughter to be me. You said more than like 3 times!
Okay. Innocent lives are taken, Jordan. Read the facts. Are you a racist?